Hey YouTube family. Um, I just wanted to really quick share with you guys about some of my, I guess, baking, what you could consider baking part of my business. Um, Today I'm getting ready to make chocolate covered Oreos for Valentine's Day. They're super delicious and super yummy. I do them all sorts throughout the year. I do Christmas ones. I can do Thanksgiving ones, Valentine's Day, Easter, birthdays, you name it, it can be done. So, some of the things that I use for this are I use milk chocolate almond bark. These are dark chocolate candy melts, and these are red candy melts, and I use the red. I don't usually use the red by itself. What I do is I mix it in. You may be wondering where the white is. I already have the white in the bowl here melting. But what I do with the red is if I'm trying to get like a pink color, or even for the red, so that way I don't have to use all of these red ones, what I'll do is I'll take the white and I will put a couple in there, mix it in until I get the pink that I'm looking for. And of course, if I'm going with red, then I put however many in I need until I get the red that I'm looking for. So that's pretty much it. Here's my parchment paper. This counter has already been wiped down and sanitized. I'm getting ready to make some for my friends, children, to send to them or to give to them. And parchment paper, chocolates, Oreos, spatulas. Here's one of the bowls that I'll be using. I use the big bowl for the white chocolate because I will melt this as white in here, which I usually use a lot of white, so that's why that one gets the big bowl. Over here I have some pink that I've made in a piping bag, and I've just melted that down until I got the pink that I desired. And then over here I have some chopped peanuts, chopped pecans. These are like some red and clear sprinkles. And I have these that will go on the Oreos. I have some silver sprinkles, some golden white little round balls sprinkles, some mixture of Valentine's Day colors, sprinkles, and I have some little mini XOXO sprinkles, and back here I have some gold sugar sprinkles. So essentially what I will be doing is I'll be dipping the Oreos into the chocolate, moving them onto here, doing the striping with the bag here. Then you'll place the heart, these little sugar hearts, the little sugar icing hearts here. You'll place that onto the cookie where you want it, and then you will just decorate with whatever topping you choose. So I just wanted to show you guys sometimes, whenever you do the piping bags with the chocolate in it, I like to just, snip just very little bits off at a time. And then I will just practice on a plate to make sure, first of all, that it comes out of the bag. And second of all, that it comes out in a way that I like, that it's not too thick or that it's not too thin, that it's just curling up. This right here, since it's for Valentine's Day, this is kind of a cute design that it's doing. It's kind of doing like a little squiggly line, and that's okay too, because it's a design. So, many people will actually like that, and it's just a really cool thing that it does. I also just realized I forgot to tell you guys what this is. I showed you my spatulas, But this right here is a special tool that you can use, for dipping Oreos or pretty much anything flat that you want to dip. It's good for pretzels because you can hook it, use the prongs to hook the pretzels and dip them and stuff. So what I've done though is I've washed my hands, first of all, so they're nice and clean. And I've opened my Oreos up, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take one, and then I just inspect it, to make sure it's not all cracked up and it's going to fall apart, or, you don't really want these to be cracked and crumbly, because then what will happen when you put it in your white, it'll cause problems. It'll leave big chunks of chocolate cookie behind, and that'll cause an issue for that. So you just drop it in there, and I just give it a flip, turn it over, tap it off a few times, and then you just bring it over here and you slide it off just like that, and you just let it sit for a minute. I generally will do, anywhere from 3 to 5 at a time, depending, because you don't want to let them sit too long. Otherwise, the chocolate will harden before you get all of your stuff on there that you need to get on there. So I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to do a couple more, and then I will come back and show you guys what's next. Okay, so now I just had to heat this up in the microwave a little bit because, it is chocolate, and as it sits, it will harden. So sometimes you just have to warm it up a little bit to get it back flowing. I come over here and I usually do a few tests just to make sure it's coming out the right way. Then I'm going to come over here, and you're just going to go back and forth across the cookie. And then you just go to each one and back and forth across it. Back and forth across. Just like that. And I lay that down, and then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to grab a little heart, and I'm going to stick it on. Right, try to get it, as close to centered as possible. You don't really want them to be real off, otherwise they're going to look funny. So just keep doing that. Put them on there, give them, a little tap down. Tap, 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 tap. All right. So really quick, now that you've got this on here and set, what you're going to do is you're going to come over here and you're going to choose your toppings, to go. So you can put whatever you want with whatever you want. I think I'm going to do some of these delicious freshly chopped pecans, and just sprinkle, I like to just sprinkle them, at the top of the cookie. I don't really like to, I just kind of, push them down a little bit, make sure they're set on there nice. Just like that. And there's that one. So I will come back over here. I think I'm going to do the silver on the top of the purple. And then you just come back over here, and then just carefully, like I said, just sprinkle however much, you want, or your client wants, whoever you're doing these for. Like I said, I'm making these for some people, so I'm trying to make them really nice. I was going to say whenever I do them for myself, or, at Christmas time, just to give away, I'm not as particular, but That would be a little bit of a lie because I am pretty particular then too. So you just want them to look nice, you know. And then I'm going to do gold right here with the red. I'm going to sprinkle little sprinkles of gold on there. Took a little bit too much. If you get too much in your fingers, what will happen is it'll be hard for you to control where it's going, where the sprinkles are landing. So I like to just grab little bits at a time, you know, and then go back and grab more if I need to. That way I don't over sprinkle, or that way my sprinkles aren't sitting here and jumping onto other cookies. You know, you don't want that to go on either. You want to try to be as careful as you can be while doing this. All right, there's those ones. They're really nice, really pretty. So what you do, as soon as these set, you want to let them set, you know, until they're hard and firm, and when you touch them, they don't dent or, you know, put any creases. So then whenever you lift them up, what you're going to do is you see this you might be looking like, well, that's a mess because there's extra chocolate. So what you do is whenever you pick them up, this will all probably come up with it, and you just take your fingers and you just knock it off. It comes off very easily, and then you have a perfectly decorated Oreo. So I'm just gonna continue on now. I'm gonna do the rest. I'm actually doing milk chocolate and dark chocolate ones as well. So you just do that, and you just use whatever decorations you want or you need, or the people request, or whatever, and just get it done. So I did want to go over real quick. I did not share in the beginning whenever I was talking about my setup. I use pots and a glass bowl, and in the pot you just want a very small amount of water. You don't want the water touching the glass bowl, because what will happen is you will ruin your chocolate. You will either burn it, or especially with the white, it's a really finicky chocolate the way it is, just in general. So you want to be very careful that you don't turn the heat up too high on that. You just want it on a very low. What I did when I started mine is it was started here on 2, because it was on the double burner, of course, for the big pot. So I started on 2. And there's such a small amount of water in there that 2, it gets it boiling. So once I hear it or see it start boiling, what I do is I come over and I just turn it down to low. And you don't need it on high. You don't need to keep it turned up. You just, once it gets nice and hot and your chocolate's melted, it'll stay that way, because inside of here under the bowl is, you know, the water is still very hot. So it'll keep your chocolate melted for, I don't know, a good while actually. So, but that's pretty much it. If anybody has any questions, you know, feel free to ask. I would just, you know, if you want to try making these, they're a fairly simple, yummy thing. You can make them for many occasions. So, all right. Thanks, YouTube family. I will talk to you later, and I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button, and also that you share this with your friends who may be interested in it. Thanks. Bye, guys.